Steam locomotives were some of the most powerful machines ever built. They pulled trains that fueled our imagination. They represented vision, collaboration, ingenuity, customer service, and extraordinary human achievement. But in order to get to their destination, it took someone guiding them through a series of switches in order to get to the main line. Just like leaders today, it takes someone directing them down the right path in order to get to their destination. Welcome to Mainline Executive Coaching ACT, which stands for And Cultural Transformation, hosted by Master Certified Intelligent Leadership Executive Coaches Michael Bailey and Rich Barron, with over 50 years of successful cultural transformation and quantum leadership development between them. Brought to you by Intelligent Leadership Executive Coaching, the world's foremost authority on cultural transformation and intelligent leadership development. Once again, thanks for joining us and enjoy today's show.
Good day wherever you may be. This is Mainline Executive Coaching, ACT. We are here to give you a little bit of encouragement, spur you on, inspire you to greater heights. ACT, ACT. You know, you can think about it all you want, right? As much as you want, day and night, day after day. But until you actually take what it is that you've got, come up with, solved, resolved, till you act, nothing's going to happen. And that's what it is. Leaders act. Leaders also are involved in cultural development, ACT, and cultural development transformation. That's what we do here. And so until you act, none of that's going to happen. Now we're going to talk about, in a very interesting way, excuse me, a thing that holds leadership and organizations from acting.
From acting, yeah. There's an action going on, but it's not the right one.
Yeah, it's actually not moving it ahead. It's more like, oh, let's move it in. And and actually, when I just think about it that way, you know, when your body is attacked, all the blood goes to the core to protect itself. I mean, that's the survival thing, right? That's what it does.
Yeah.
Same thing with organizations. The organizational imperative, you know, no matter what, we got to save the organization, and then we can, you know, lop off everything else. So this idea of cutting your budget's been cut. Now what? Are you gonna feed the organization? You're gonna bleed the organization?
Definitely not feeding the organization. And here's the kicker, Michael, and this is coming up more and more recently. With people we're talking to, had a conversation with a person yesterday about this, who was very upset about their company cutting back on some costs, and the first thing they cut out was employee development, personal development. No money to train our employees.
You got to give me a little bit of background on this. I mean, a little bit of background in what you told me was their place has gone from a high functioning business, manufacturing business, and now to an absolute, I kid you not, and I mean this, an absolute train wreck in every sense of the word. Safety, people leaving, all sorts of crap going on. It is a train wreck, literally. And so their solution is, instead of investing, cut back. All the things that would turn it around.
Cut back. But here's the kicker. And I know this company. They're not cutting back on anybody's salaries or bonuses or stock options at the senior level. That is not taking place. As bonuses are not being cut back at the senior level.
That's right. That's that organizational imperative. So what we talk about, the golden triangle here. The golden triangle is where all the executives, how they work and how they want things, and they don't realize that all these feeders, you know, all these people that work a little bit different, have different kinds of gifts and talents and abilities, experiences, feed into that golden triangle. If they don't get that going, working well, that golden triangle collapses. It implodes.
It implodes, absolutely. Here's some actual surprising statistics. Let's do some surprising statistics real quick.
Startling statistics.
Startling. These are really startling. And it's a wake-up call for a lot of you people. 38% of all global organizations claim they do not have an adequate pipeline for leadership. And the ones that do have any pipeline, less than 8% of those people in the pipeline have any leadership abilities. So what do? We cut back. Oh, 8% is good enough. Let's just cut back. We're having a cash flow issue. Let's start with the employees first. Let's start there first, and cut back their personal development. And the problem is they're spending so little on doing it to begin with. How is that cutback really going to impact the bottom line? It's not. Yeah. But in the future, you're going to pay the price for that. Yeah. You talk about culture. Don't talk about culture. You have no right to talk about culture, no room in your vocabulary to even talk about culture if you don't have a program in there to develop your employees. That's not culture. So don't come to us and say, gosh, we got a great culture, but we just cut back all of our spending on our employees' development. But the culture is awesome. We have a coffee bar and a leather couch.
That's right.
Break room.
And a foosball table.
Yep.
That's
and a microphone for TED Talk style lunches.
It's so inspiring.
But that's the sad thing about it, Michael. That's the sad thing about it. Is we don't take into account how important it is to develop those people in your company. I got talking to another individual the other day, multi-billion-dollar global organization. And I heard directly back from the chief people officer, and it was a nice note. Mm-hmm. But, sorry, Rich, I just don't have that in the budget for 2023. Okay. What'd you do last year? What do you plan on doing in 2024? What are you going to do at the end of 2023 when those people you haven't developed are now working for the competition? Where's that in your budget? Now, I'm not coming out. We're not coming out here, Michael, to say, man, give us your money to train your people. That's not the point. The bottom line is the
why
world.
Are we here?
Why are we here? Yeah. The world needs great leaders right now. Companies need great leaders. They truly do. It's up to you to either A, develop yourself, find a coach, pay for it personally, or the organization you work for needs to step up and implement some programs that actually tested, actually work, actually have organizations that can back it up. So
I got a question for you. You give us a number at the beginning. 38%. That 38% represented what again? So everybody hears that.
38%. It's actually from a global survey. Mm-hmm. The 38% of all the organizations out there state they have no pipeline for leadership.
I'm going to take
very thin pipeline for leadership.
I'll bet you. I bet you really took the real look at that. The real of what that is.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it's probably almost double.
Oh, I would bet
70%, because what they think is adequate or really sufficient or will really do the job to begin with, they have no idea what that really is. They truly don't have any idea because they don't have an experience in that. So it's probably actually a lot worse than what it is that they've indicated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this creates a very interesting situation for people who are genuinely, authentically aspiring to become great leaders, who are really in it. And here it is. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be honest, though. If your organization is not willing to invest in you, who's left? You're going to have to be the one. I mean, sometimes they'll pay to go through college or this or that or whatever it may be. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you. If you knew that there was, like, let's just simple example, real simple. If you knew, you took one of our surveys here, we said, you got great stuff going on here. Here's stuff there. Okay. And then there's 4 or 5 things over here that are really, they're like chains, ball and chains around your feet there. They're really tying you up. You're tripping over it. And unless you figure out what to do with this, you're just not going to go anywhere. Everything great about you gets you to where you are. Everything that's not so great keeps you there. So if you had an assessment, say, okay, this is the great that got me here. Here's the what's not so great that's keeping me here. If you can identify that, here's the question. Who's going to benefit by you getting additional training? Who's going to benefit by you getting additional coaching, assistance, and becoming that leader that's really within you? Who's going to benefit? Well, it's going to be you, primarily you, and then you're going to take that to your teams and company and all that, and that's going to develop and grow. And then not only are you going to, let's be honest about it, not only are you going to develop your career within that organization, there's another thing most people don't think about, and that is you'll be developing your leadership career, which goes beyond the organization. Now, if you're going to benefit from all that, why would you not invest in yourself?
That's a very good question. Very good question, and one that a lot of people really need to do some soul searching and answer that themselves.
Yeah, because if you're thinking somebody else should pay for it,
yeah,
and they're not willing to, who's being hurt by them not doing it so you could get those great benefits?
Yeah.
It's you.
Yep. So here's one final shot across the bow for companies that are cutting budgets. It's proven statistics, proven fact, proven numbers that on average, coaching your people, developing your people, executive coaching returns an ROI of 7 times.
7 to 20 times.
7 to 20 times ROI. Now, if that's something that you can't live within your budget, improving that by 7 to 20 times, then
get the keys.
Get the keys. Yeah.
Lock it up.
Yeah. Last one out the door, turn the lights off.
You can't stand it.
That's if an electric company hasn't shut them off already for you because your budget's so poor. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. And it's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, make it something exciting. We don't want to guilt you into this sort of thing. No. It is actually, when you get into this kind of work, I'm telling you, it is some of the most exciting. It is some of the most exhilarating. Sometimes it's very frustrating. I'm going to be honest with you as well. Sometimes it's very frustrating, and it's kind of this conundrum for your noodle, figuring this stuff out. On the other hand, there is something about it that just kicks something inside of you, that you have a whole new level of belief in yourself. And that's not like, believe, that kind of stuff. It's more like, I believe. It's what we call confidence that's now showing in your actions, in your communications, and in your results. I'm telling you, something absolutely different happens. You can't even understand unless you've done that kind of work before. But if you've done it before, maybe it's time to do it again. Yep. You need another shot. If you've never done it before, don't hold yourself from it, because it's going to be absolutely life-changing. If you do the work, it's life-changing. Okay.
Case in point, I'm going to throw this out there really fast, Michael, then we'll be done. Yeah. Case in point, got an email from an individual who's working on part of their coaching. Okay. And the question was this designed to make me, tear up, to really hit, close to home? Absolutely. It's part of that vulnerability decision about being honest with yourself and taking a hard look at your leadership abilities and gaps and talents. So you bet it can be humbling but at the same time very rewarding. So
yeah, it's deeply inside. It moves you emotionally. And if you think, I don't want to get into that emotional stuff, oh, come on. You watch sports. I mean, are you a sports kind of guy? If you're watching sports, you are emotional when you're yelling for your team. So get past the emotional crap. That's just a bunch of nonsense.
Yep.
Let's go.
All righty. Hey, thank you everybody for joining us again today. Appreciate all your support, your belief in us, and continue to listen, and we'll continue to make shows, podcasts.
That's right. And a shout out to Pasadena, California. Yo.
Pasadena.
Spread the word.
Isn't that the little old lady from Pasadena?
It
Is that a song?
is. Yeah, I grew up out in San Fernando Valley out there, so wasn't all that far from. I got friends out there still out there. So yeah, great place. Probably
It's-
warmer than it is here.
Yes, where we're at is very cold. All righty, folks. Until next time, take care of each other, and we'll see you again soon.
All the best.
With all of the issues facing organizations today, leadership development and cultural transformation are needed more than ever. Go to our website, executiveleadersactilec.com. Book some time with us. Let's sit down and talk and get you on the path to success. This podcast was brought to you by Intelligent Leadership Executive Coaching, ILEC, the world's foremost authority on leadership development and cultural transformation. Once again, for Mainline Executive Coaching, ACT, this is Rich Barron and Michael Bailey. Thank you for joining us, and take care.